What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Planet of Doubt channel where we doubt everything. I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
CX Drive.
I feel.
Man, neat.
And it's your boy John Lewis, and welcome back to the Planet Tao channel and to our segment called A Year In. So, if you're new, let me explain the segment to you. So, we have a wheel, a wheel of fortune, and we put the years from 1993 to 2019. And last segment, we chose a movie within the year that came about. This segment, we're going to do the albums that came about in that year. We spun the wheel, and the year we got was 2016.
Damn, Winslow, can we get that sound effect in the video?
So the squad and I we did our research. We looked through 2016, all the albums that came out. We all individually made our top 5. So we're gonna tell you guys our top 5 individually, and then after that, we're gonna try to attempt to make a top 5 for the whole squad overall. So
Let's get it.
who we got? Chris. So yeah, Chris, what's your top 5, dog? What we got?
All right, so my top 5, I got Views by Drake, The Life of Pablo by Kanye West, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight by Travis Scott,
Hi, peace.
Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper,
Oof. Hi,
and
bees.
my favorite album of the year, Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Oof. Low bees.
Chris, we almost had the same exact list.
Bunch of
Damn.
No,
hype
in the front in the first time, but I changed it up a little bit. We have
Hi, bees.
some together. But
We chose all the albums from the same camp.
yeah, when I first made this list, almost there. But in my top 5 list from 2016 music albums, I got Life of Pablo by Kanye West, Bobby Tarantino by Logic, Starboy by The Weeknd, Views by
course.
Drake, and
Of
Free
course.
Black by Black.
Shit.
Damn.
Fuck, dog. You see what I mean? We'll
gotta
get to me in a second.
research.
Yo, I didn't even think about fucking Bobby Tarantino, dog.
I see
see
it.
how your
Was,
turn.
it was the top 5 you got.
I got Childish Gambino's "Awaken My Love," Chance the Rapper's "Coloring Book," Kanye West's "The Life of Pablo," J. Cole's "For Your Eyes Only," and Kendrick Lamar's "Untitled Unmastered."
You got the half hype piece.
I'm up.
Manny.
All right, Liddy. So I got John's favorite album, Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper. I have The Life of Pablo by Kanye West. I have The Human Condition by John Bellion. I have 1992 by The Game. And I have Run the Jewels 3 by Run the Jewels.
Not familiar with that one.
Fucking
Interesting.
fire.
You know, Killer Mike, who was just in the news. That's his group,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's his,
Oh,
that's his
okay,
duo.
okay.
Yeah.
So same as Jose, I had texted the group chat this morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I got my top 5. Like, this is a cool year." And then I started doing more research, and I'm like, "Fam, I'm asleep." And I guess I was asleep because I didn't even know Black came out with the album on that year or the Tarantino. But I'm actually good with my top 5, and my top 5 is The Life of Pablo. Seems like we all have it. 24 karat magic in the air.
Ooh, damn, that
That's a
came
great
out that year?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my
Man.
God. I didn't even peep.
Yep.
Fam, I'm telling you, I
Bruh.
would have been mad if we did this video and I didn't know.
Oh my God.
For number 3, I got my dog, John Bellion.
All day, son.
Look, I got the fucking vinyls.
Got
man.
all the
Day,
vinyl.
boy.
At
Show
number
and tell.
4, at number 4, I got Starboy by The Weeknd.
Hey.
And at number 5, this is gonna surprise you guys, I have Zayn Malik with
Wow.
Mind of Mine, which is the One Direction boy who went solo.
Male Beyonce.
So that is my top 5. So I guess let's talk about some of our honorable mentions that didn't make it to the top 5. But I think for me, it's important to acknowledge Beyonce Lemonade. That was a huge album because of whatever came behind it.
Yeah.
Talking
facts.
about the Jay-Z and her cheating thing, the elevator. What do you call it? Not controversial, but
Scandal.
the infamous. Yeah, scandal, the infamous. you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce never had a thing in the media ever. So
Word.
that was huge. I got
Still haven't heard
Anti.
it.
It's a good album. And actually, what came with Lemonade, she performed Formation on Super Bowl. So that's actually a huge thing that came with the album.
Is that still on Tidal? Like, has she decided to drop it anywhere else?
I think I got the playlist from Apple, so it's on other platforms.
Yeah, I think I've seen it on Spotify.
Yeah. We got Anti by Rihanna, which was a huge album for her because that's when Work came out. And please tell me
One
you
of her
haven't heard
last albums too that she's done.
Work. Yeah, that song Work alone is like huge for her. And it's actually the first time I ever heard SZA on a record on that album. What else you guys got?
I know y'all gonna be upset because none of y'all really. I don't know if y'all fuck with him like that, but Young Thug dropped one of my favorite projects from him, which is Slime Season 3. Yeah, I could already see by Manny's face.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I think that's his best project to date, Slime Season 3, and he dropped that in 2016. So I thought I'd throw it out there.
Okay. What else you guys thought was important
Honestly,
to mention?
like of the ones that I had from my honorable mentions, they were brought up on other lists. So I mean,
Same.
like there's really nothing else I got for that year.
I had the
Shea,
same
you got
thing.
something? So you guys mind if I just go off on like some albums that I peeped?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll just name them real quick.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, she had one. 1975. Solange, Sit at the Table, which was a huge album.
Word. Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Post Malone with Posty.
Yeah, so
Like I didn't even peep.
See,
that.
I actually went back to that one, but that was post before I really fucked with them. That's
Right,
the only
right.
reason I didn't put them on my list.
I feel you because I only liked a couple records from that album.
Yeah.
YG. So I haven't really heard the album, but everybody says it's a classic. Like for real, like his first album. So probably should be mentioned. And yeah, like you guys said, every other album that I had on here, some of you guys put it on your top 5. So right now, what we're gonna do is do our overall top 5 as a crew. So Chris is gonna set it off by choosing one from Jose's top 5.
Yeah.
So what we got?
all right, for if you didn't know, my top 5 was Life of Pablo by Kanye West, Bobby Tarantino by Logic, Starboy by The Weeknd, Views by Drake, and Free Black by Black.
I'm gonna choose The Life of Pablo by Kanye West. Of course, he's my favorite artist, and I remember that whole time in 2016 when he did drop it with that fashion show at MSG, and he just dropped a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Yeezys with that project, and you know me, I love Yeezys and shoes, so I just go back to that, and that's why I'll choose The Life of Pablo.
Good choice.
And because we're still there, let's talk about what The Life of Pablo meant overall. This was the first album, and I believe in streaming services history, that was still getting mixed and mastered and edited while it was out. So that's crazy to point out because up until this point, it's never happened. And we all know usually when a label asks for an album, it has to be ready to go. And however it comes out, it's how it comes out to the public. And it is what it is. But my dog was still switching verses, still already adding harmonies, still mixing it. And I fuck with that because it's like, well, I understand the frustration
Yeah,
of
he
him
got so
pushing
much
it back
pressure.
and pushing it back and pushing it back. But it's not like we had to leave our house to go buy the album every time he fixed it. It was just like, okay, I'll just log back in and we get a better record.
If I'm not mistaken,
And
isn't
was
that
that
the first
song-
album that released like exclusively on Tidal?
On Tidal, yes.
Probably because I remember
Yeah.
that having that was like an issue between Jay and Kanye.
Yeah,
And like it was like, yo, I drove all of this audience and I never got paid for it. I don't know, some shit like that.
yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about Jay-Z and Kanye shit.
Was that song Saint Pablo like released?
It was
at
added
launch?
on.
It was added on
like,
later. Yeah,
Okay.
and that
Crazy.
was a banger.
One of the
boy.
best
That
songs.
was probably one of the best songs. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
With the Where You From instrumental.
Yes, dog. That was the third time that sample got used and was still fire. Like,
You're
man,
looking at me in the night sky.
yo,
And what's my dog's name?
Oh.
Is it Sanfa? No. Is
Yeah,
it
No.
Sanfo.
Sanfa? Yeah, that's his name.
His voice is crazy on that record. That song was actually premiered at the club for the first time, dog.
Really?
Damn.
Yes, dog.
Yeah, he added that on a while after the album dropped. But it's that song is amazing.
Nobody could ever forget Chance best verse of all time.
Ultralight Beam.
Yes.
That was Chance's best verse, dog. That's the best verse I've ever heard Chance spit. That was dog.
And this is coming from people that don't even like Chance.
I think
Well, I love Chance. It's one of his best. I can't give him
think that's
number
one of the best verses on the whole album.
Yeah, facts. And then you have him and K Dot going back and forth with No More Parties in LA.
Yeah.
No parties in LA, dog. That shit
You know
is
what's crazy
so
about
good.
that though?
God.
Kanye wrote his verse on the plane. Like he finished it before he landed. So that's crazy. And we've been waiting for Kanye and Kendrick to hop on something together.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
even though
they did not fail us.
Kendrick opened up for Kanye Yeezus tour. And that was when Kendrick was still like, he wasn't the big Kendrick artist that we know now. So that's pretty crazy. You're talking about Chris Brown and Kanye finally again. Yes,
Please.
finally get on the
That
fucking record.
That song comes in too hard.
Dog, you listen to that shit in the car and the world changes. Like
The car just elevates.
The world
works.
flying
The car's
to
just flying. Like that shit, yo.
You're
Literally,
That shit
gliding.
is amazing.
My two
boy.
favorite artists on one record. I was like, all right, this is all I needed for the rest of my life.
Dog, and part two, boy, I got
yes.
bras in Atlanta. Get out of here, dog. That shit. Ooh.
Yo,
Yeah,
that
that
song
album
went
is so
like
good.
diamond. Like that shit was crazy
Oh
for
yeah.
everybody's career. Like that song till this day.
Yes,
Till
to
this
this day.
I think that's the song that got Designer signed to freaking Good Music.
Oh yeah.
I
for
mean,
sure.
they didn't
Yeah,
they didn't
dog.
do anything else with him, but he has that song.
And it was good to see Cuddy. We haven't seen Cuddy in a while. I believe before that.
Father Stretch My Hands. Ooh,
Father Stretch My Hands.
that intro is too good.
Bro, fucking famous with all the Taylor Swift BS that was
Mm.
going on. Yo, that was
She got
that was
exposed, but
crazy.
let's not get into that.
Yeah,
That's for a
yeah.
whole nother podcast.
So we got Jose is choosing from Asiel.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
So I got Awaken My Love, Coloring Book, The Life of Pablo, but we already have it there. So For Your Eyes Only, and Untitled Unmastered.
Interesting.
That is a little
Interesting.
tougher for Jose.
Yeah. Please don't, dog. I'm gonna fold this laptop and throw it across this garage.
Please don't what?
Ah!
Nah.
Well, if he chooses,
Nah, I don't care.
Nah, I know what he's talking about, but I'm not going that route. I am going with K Dot, the Untitled Unmastered, because I had that on my list, but I had to change it because I felt like I love the songs on there, but like I replaced it for Bobby Tarantino's Logic, and I don't really I can't compare the two because I love both artists.
You know what's funny? I had Bobby Tarantino instead of
Really?
Untitled Unmastered, but then I saw that it was a mixtape, so I was like, all right, let me just switch it because it's not an album.
Damn.
So I put it up there.
Untitled Unmastered has some of my favorite Kendrick songs.
Bro,
And what was that was just like songs that were left on to Pimp a Butterfly, right? That was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like
Was
that.
it? Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was
I know just
mostly
like-
things
that's
he
what it
did
was.
like unreleased. He
that
performed
were
some.
supposed to be on To Pimp
yeah.
a Butterfly.
Even
and, like,
live
he
and
didn't end
stuff.
up putting them on, yeah.
He did some live that he never released fully.
I'll be real with you. I only like 2 songs from that album.
Oh,
Yeah,
2 and
I feel
07.
you
Oh,
100%,
2 and 07.
John. I feel you 100%. Like when we were doing this, I actually went back to it and maybe I'm tripping because I love Kendrick stuff. That's the only album of his I don't like.
Right.
And listening to it again, it was just the same, dog. Like I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
It's
I
Hip
could
song.
never-
But to me, I don't really count that as like an album.
Yeah,
for
me
me.
neither.
I don't really.
That's more like a
Some
I
of the
don't even wanna say
discography.
mixtape. It was
No,
like someone
it
just dropped
counts.
like some songs. I don't know. It didn't feel like an album to me either.
It's labeled
choosing-
as like a compilation album, which I don't understand because usually that means it's more than one person. But I mean, whatever. It's still it is an album though. It is an album.
Like to that, I feel like what Drake did right now with the album he released, like, is not
Yeah.
like it's not a full album, but it's unreleased songs put into
Yeah,
like
it's similar.
to be like an album. So that's how I felt with
Yeah.
that one.
I'll take it over Chance the Cheeks.
Upset.
All right, who we got next?
Even though we could talk about Chance the Rapper's album outside of
Okay.
music, but we're not gonna do it.
Let's fuck what you think.
We're about to talk about it real soon. Go ahead,
All
man.
right, so yeah, man.
All right. So me, I had The Life of Pablo, The Human Condition, Coloring Book by Chance, John's favorite rapper. 1992 by The Game, and Run the Jewels 3 by Run
I'm going with Chance
The
the
time
Rapper's
is here.
Coloring Book.
Welcome, John.
Because repeat them, Manny.
It's
Well, the
so
Life of Pablo, we already
Life of
said.
Pablo, yeah, John Bellion, The Human Condition, Coloring Book, 1992 by The Game, and Run the Jewels 3 by Run the Jewels.
I know I haven't listened to Run the Jewels 3, and for 1992 from The Game, it was. I feel like I listened to it when it like first came out, and then I just never went back to it, so I can't recall anything from it.
That's a really good album, man. That's actually one of my favorite albums by The Game. That's a
Really?
really good album. Yeah.
And then I thought about The Human Condition, but everything I know from that album is just from what John has played in the car. And then I went
Oh,
back
really?
and looked at like all like the track list, and I just didn't know enough songs for me to put it on my list. But from the ones you have there that we have the same, I have Coloring Book from Chance the Rapper. And for this album, I gotta pick it just because there's a good. I don't know, the whole album
It's
is
too
just,
good.
like
That
It
album
is a good album,
is
dog.
good,
Like,
man.
it's like it's such a feel good
Yeah.
spiritual uplifting album that it's just a fun ride to get through every time I listen to it. So for that reason, I gotta throw it into the top 5.
So some of the features that were on there too, I know we were like kind of mentioning it earlier,
No, yeah.
like the Jay Electronica verse. That's on
Yeah,
there.
that how great with Jay Elec is.
Yes, dog.
Jay
It's one of my favorite songs on
Justin
here.
Bieber,
The-
Kanye,
The,
Bro,
You got
the
Ty Dolla
the
Sign
Two
on
Chains
there.
verse, where
2
he's
Chainz,
like, "I'm high, Captain.
Lil
I'm
Wayne.
so high, me and God dapping." Like, dog, that's too good.
Well,
Juke Jam with Justin Bieber is also
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my favorite songs on
that's
here.
a
Yeah.
great.
We used to roll at the ring.
Well, not to go back
yeah.
to the Life of Pablo, but if it wasn't for Chance's verse on the Life of Pablo, I probably wouldn't have gone to listen. To,
I feel you.
To,
I feel you
the
because I
to
wasn't
Coloring
huge
Book.
on Chance until I heard that.
Neither was
If I
I. And
recall,
go ahead. That's good.
if I recall correctly, that first song was supposed to be on this album.
The
If
Life of
my
Pablo.
memory serves. Yeah, the Ultra Light Beam was supposed to
Ultra-
be on Coloring Book.
Interesting.
I know. I don't know if that was the case. I know that initially Chance was supposed to produce it, and he did produce it. But then Kanye went in there. He was like, "Not this, not that, not this, not that." So I know he worked. He originally had everything to do with the song. I just don't know if it was supposed to be for whose
Yo,
album.
but didn't
first.
we hear, or
and-
didn't like a leak come out of like the original version of that song? I feel like I might
No,
have heard that.
I don't know.
Chance did an interview and he played it on the interview.
Oh, that's
He was
what it
supposed to be
yeah.
on Waves, actually. He had a verse on Waves,
Hmm.
but then,
There
but
you
Chris
go.
Brown was still on
I
it,
mean-
also, I believe.
Well,
Yeah,
personally,
he
I
did.
think Ultra Light Beam would have fit more on this album than it did on The Life of Pablo, just because the whole spiritual aspect of Coloring Book. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's classified as a gospel album, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Not
There's
by
a lot
the-
of gospel in it. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
not-
spiritual.
It's by people's word of mouth, yeah, but not by the like a category on Apple Music or something like that.
Bro, and same drugs, man. We don't do the same drugs no more. Too
And
good.
the song,
I got my city doing front.
I got my city doing front
Oh
flips.
my god.
I love the outro too. Blessings with Ty Dolla Sign and who was it?
Yeah,
John?
everybody on that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that shit is too beautiful.
Anderson Paak.
Oh yeah, and this album also made me a Chance fan because when I heard this, I was like, you know what? Let me go back
How did it go?
because
After?
I hated his voice. I like couldn't stand his voice at first. I was like, his voice is so raspy and like I don't really like fuck with his flow that much. But after hearing this, I went back to Acid Rap, which is his first. Not I don't think it's his first project, but it's one of his first projects. It just opened my eyes. Like, yo, this guy is spitting. Like his bar game is crazy, and it just made me a Chance fan. And I love Coloring Book. That's definitely a great choice to me.
So I can't talk too much on the album because I think I heard it once, and I'm just not a Chance fan for multiple reasons. But what I will speak on as a musician and as somebody who's in the industry, this album did change the game because I believe he won a Grammy for it. And
he
they
switched
changed,
up
like, the
the
whole-
rules.
yeah, he changed the rules for the Grammy nomination. So that
Without a
alone,
record label.
you gotta
On top of
respect.
that.
That's a whole other pod, like Chris says.
But
Yeah,
that's,
you got a
he
partnership
gets
with
to take
Apple
my
Music.
thing.
It's a regular.
no, yeah, but that was a big thing for him too. That was,
Yeah, it's a big thing, but it's not a big thing. But it's not a big thing because Apple, if you're getting backed, it's a record label. But semantics, yeah, sure. But But no, I respect it because he did make the Grammy board change the rules, which is crazy because it's like asking the Oscars to change their format. And I believe that this was the first album, or this album wasn't even on sale or something like that. It was just like
Yeah,
it was free.
It was free.
This is a mixtape. This isn't even an album. I
Bruh.
remember. Well, I don't know if he changed it through the years, but when he first started promoting this, it was a mixtape. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but I remember it being a mixtape.
Yeah, I mean that was Chance's whole thing. Like at that time, was that he didn't sell his
it's
music.
like everything is
Yeah.
just mixtapes.
Yeah.
They get, but I think this
Yeah.
one they threw it under the album category.
I think it blew up so much that he was like, let's just make this album.
Well,
Fuck it.
that's the thing. Like mixtapes are only called mixtapes when an artist is scared that it's not going to perform like it should. So just let me give you out the behind the scenes on the music talk. In that case, but I don't care about the album, but I do respect what it did because it was a different approach. I think he was like the first artist to get a deal with like a streaming service, like with Apple Music or something like that. And then I think Drake did it after that. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So he did open up new ways of making business with artists. You know what I'm saying? Like before that, it was just like, actually, no, Jay-Z changed the game when he did the deal with the phone and the Magna Carta and shit. But he just introduced a new way to release an album, which I can always respect because for the longest, people are just like, you record label and then they release your shit and it is what it is. But Chance made it work with the technology we have with social media. So I do fuck with that.
As much as I love Chance, his follow up to Coloring Book was trash. It was
Which was
not good.
the one that
Yeah.
came out last year?
The one with the disc, like the he's like holding in his hand. It's like
Oh yeah, the,
transparent.
It was
Bruh,
like
I
five-
have
yeah.
not been able to fuck with another Chance album like that.
Well, that's the only one he's dropped
since that
since.
album, bro.
That's the only
Yeah.
one he's really dropped since.
Nah,
that
but he
album.
didn't he do one that was like, oh no, was that? I might be thinking of Logic actually. Never mind.
Well,
Yeah,
what was the one with his
probably
wife?
The one with his wife.
Yeah, that everybody killed him for.
Yeah, I think that's a new one where like he just talked about his wife a lot and shit. Like
Yeah, that's
that.
what I'm saying. But you said that was
Yeah.
like the last one that he released. But
Yeah, that was like when we were
That's true.
last time in Sanibel, like in July or whenever we went. That was last year, so it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good project, but his previous stuff is great.
all right, so right now I believe Mises F Baby will be choosing from my top 5. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir. Whenever you are.
All right, so we got The Life of Pablo, which is already on the list.
Yeah, everybody got that.
We got Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic that you forgot.
Classic.
It came out
Classic.
that
Wish I wouldn't have forgotten that, but whatever.
year. John Bellion, Human Condition, Starboy by The Weeknd, and Zayn Malik, Mind of Mine.
All right. So definitely gonna do a one time for my dog John Bellion, because that album is too fucking fire, my guy. Like
Let's
talk
go!
Fam, top to bottom is good. We're gonna fucking fanboy the fuck out of this, by the way. Like this is too good of an album. Top to bottom, this is a good fucking album. To this day, I still listen to multiple fucking songs off this album, dog. Fucking 80s films. These 80s films, we can hook up in the back, let my best friend drive. Like, dog, maybe I don't know. Woke the fuck up. Overwhelming. Weight of the world. Like, there's so much good shit on this album. It's insane. Like, he might be the most underrated fucking singer on the face of the earth.
Let me just get myself out of this combo right now. All Time Low is a classic, and I'll just leave it at that.
And that was the single, and I haven't even brought it up yet. Like, dog,
Get your shit off. Get your shit off.
Fam. Not only that, but like my dog on New York Soul Part 2 spits some of the hottest fucking bars that I heard in that entire fucking year. Like,
As a white boy.
as a white boy doing it for his culture, I guess. But
So,
dog, like, so I do this thing like every couple of months on my iPhone. Like I'll make a new playlist of just songs that I fuck with that it'll be really hard for me to skip. And every single time I do that playlist, multiple songs from this album make that playlist because it's that good, bro. Like, and I like shit that he has before that. I like shit that he has after that. But this fucking album just hits different, man. Like it is just that good.
all right, let me answer you quickly because I know we're short on time. So this album was a pitch to Pixar, my friends. This album was literally created as a show and tell, as a resume to show the Pixar industry, yo, I can literally, if can you please let me score your films? And it worked because after the album, Pixar signed them to be one of the scores for their up and coming.
And also, shout out to my dog real quick for the cameo in Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. I just want to say that.
But that's a different album.
I know, but just shout out for that because that's fine.
So just like Mr. Chance, this was actually John Bellion's first album that was sold because he dropped 3 albums before, and he told the label, if y'all gonna sign me as a singer-songwriter, my first 3 albums have to be free. And then they're like, no, we're a label, we need money. And they're like, well, then you don't get my hits. And then they're like, you know what, you're right. So then The Human Condition was the first one to be sold. Every artwork that was made for every single record was created by an artist from Pixar. And it cost him $80,000 for each record to create like a Pixar. Yes, like it's crazy.
Damn.
And last thing I'll say is that he only had 2 features on the album, and they were his homeboys. And it was still a great album.
He carried the album by himself.
Right. Yeah, man. I'll take chance being on there if John Bellion gets to be on there. All right, so I believe it's my turn to choose from Mr. Christopher.
All right, my list is Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper. I know that's your obvious choice. Blonde by Frank Ocean. Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight by Travis Scott. The Life of Pablo by Kanye West. And Views by Drake.
God damn.
Don't do it.
I'm really like in a pickle here. Because I literally found out yesterday in my research that the Travis Scott album actually came out that year. And I was surprised. But then when I looked at the track list, I was like, this is a cool album. So just because of the fucking circumstance, can't believe I'm doing this. Drake Views is probably going to make the top 5.
What is wrong with that album?
Because
What's wrong with Views?
Because it's horrible.
Because it's not.
It's horrible.
I even say it. It's horrible.
2016
Views
summer.
is horrible.
You can
I'm
thank
not
Drake
gonna
for that.
say it's
No, yeah.
It's horrible.
Chris,
but it is very like.
well, let me get my 45 off because
so,
I did
man.
choose the
It's
damn
so.
record.
Let him
Look,
speak.
you're right, Chris, and that's why I'm giving it to him because Hotline Bling came out of that album, and that record broke all the records. So that's alone. I'll give it to him for that.
One thing I
Controller
will
was
say.
another one.
Yeah, one thing I will say positive for that album. I mean, again, it's not a terrible album. It's just like
Look,
an
all the
artist that's been
singles,
around
all
as
the
long as
singles
Drake.
are fire, but the
Yeah.
album is trash.
But
All
I
the
will
singles
say
that came out are fire.
Yeah, I will say Western Road
Okay.
Flows is one of my favorite Drake songs. He has this bar where he goes, "Been flowing stupid since I was on some Vince Carter through the legs, arms in the hoop shit." You know what I mean? And like, you don't get a lot of Drake spitting extra hard anymore, so I did appreciate him for that.
Now, yeah, I'm a choose it because Controller was a huge record. One Dance was a huge record. Hotline Bling was probably the
Work
biggest record.
with Rihanna. Wait, is that on this
No,
album?
Work was
no,
an
that's
extra.
Rihanna's.
That was Rihanna's album.
Pop Style. Which one was the one with Kanye? That wasn't
Pop
on
Style.
this
Not
one?
that one. Not that one.
Pop Style, but they took Jay-Z and Kanye out
Yeah.
Right.
for the album.
So literally, because of 3 to 4 records, and I do like Feels No Way.
Yeah.
What about Child's Play? I don't remember Child's Play.
I don't
That
remember.
song's
Like that.
fire. I said
One
bounce
Dance
that shit
was my
like whoa.
fucking shit off of that dog. One Dance had me thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I'm
this
telling you,
was
this
Two-
album influenced a whole summer, a whole vibe, a whole start.
I
of-
know,
of
dog,
that.
but I think Jose nailed
No,
it
yeah,
on the
yeah.
head. Like the singles were great, but
And
it's
this is
just,
talking
like,
to you
outside of
from
that.
like probably the biggest Drake fan ever.
Yeah, but this is one thing that we can't take away from him. Even though the album was whatever the fuck, you're talking about 20 records, and to have
Yeah.
4 to 5 records that ran for like huge records, you got artists don't even have that. So we gotta give them that. And I didn't like enough records or feel enough records from the Travis album to choose it over this one. So that's what I'm gonna go with that because literally One Dance, Controller, Hotline Bling, Feels No Way. I'll take those records over.
Yeah,
Travis.
I only put Views on my top 5 list because it's Drake and like it's. But
All right.
that album,
This man's trying to roast me, and then he has views on his.
I'm not trying to roast
Get the
you.
hell out of here.
I'm not trying to roast you. I just said that it has fire as all the singles that came out are fire, but the album is hella trash. Like it was
think
so
we're all-
overhyped.
You
That
can't call
album,
that album trash and then say it has four.
it was
to
so
five
overhyped.
hits.
It was so
That's the thing.
You
overhyped.
can
That's
say
the
it's
thing.
okay or it didn't
Nope.
live up to the hype.
I
But
would
trash,
never listen to the whole album
That's
ever
it.
again. Just
No,
That's
yeah,
how-
those
everybody's
songs.
right.
That's how I
Everybody's
feel with
right.
Scorpion.
It's not one of his best albums, but it does have his best songs according to his discography. I guess that's the way to phrase that. So yeah, guys, welcome to a segment of in the year of 2016.
I hate all of
albums. This shit was crazy. But our top 5, we got Life of Pablo, Kanye West. We got Kendrick Lamar, Unlisted, Unmastered. We got Unlisted, Untitled.
Untitled Unmastered.
Untitled.
Well,
Unlisted,
I only
Untitled,
like
Untitled,
2 songs of that, so I don't really
I
care.
feel you. Whatever. I feel you.
We got Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book,
John Bellion.
Yeah.
John Belly, and Human Condition. And we have Drake Views. That is what we came up with for our top 5 of 2016. Tune in again. We'll be spinning the wheel. And our next segment of In the Year will be again about movies. So we'll alternate between movies and music. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe. What were your favorite albums of the year? Did it match what we had? Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. Explain, subscribe, like the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Until next time, peace.
Peace out.